Welcome back. You're still watching Signature Morning on Signature Television. Today, Friday, the 13th of September, 2024. Like they always say, Friday the 13th. I don't know if it is still something or something we should be worried about out of Nigeria. But again, we are switching gears right now to talk about oil dependency and its implications. Of course, you know, oil is the mainstay of the Nigerian economy, and there's no way we would go throughout the week without talking about oil. Dangote has been having a running battle with the NNPC, and we just want to talk about the dependency on oil and how where it has taken us to and how we have actually fared in the last few years. We have with us via Zoom this morning Dr. Uche Okoro. He's an energy, law, and climate change policy expert. Good morning, sir. Good to have you.
Good morning. And I hope you're good in the studio. Thanks for having me. Can you hear
All
me?
right. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, fine.
Okay, so I mean, we have had this, running thoughts and battle with oil, in the last years. So many governments have come and passed. We say a lot of things around diversifying the economy, at least looking for opportunities in agriculture, in health, now in artificial intelligence. Why do you think it has become really difficult with successive governments in Nigeria not being able to move away from dependency on oil?
That's a good question. You see what we've done? We have found a way as Nigerians to put the vehicle on the road and start to try to fix a moving vehicle. So it's a near impossible thing. It's an impossible thing. You don't fix a train that is on the move. So we have to have a reset about the country. There's been a lot of discussions about this oil problem, oil dependency problem, and we're not getting the best out of being a top global oil producer. Sometimes we are top 10, in single. So what has happened is that there has to be a right developmental model for a country who has found oil and who wants to benefit from oil. There's a correct developmental model for it. And that is, you have to have local technology. You have to have local capacity to service some part of your oil sector. You understand? So, are you there?
Yes, we're here.
Yeah. So this is where we missed the right turning. We went the wrong way. If you watch what is happening with countries like Saudi Arabia and all the Emirate Peninsulates around it, all the Oman, Riyadh and all those countries in the Arab Peninsula that has oil and are getting it right. You see that what they've done is that they are very, very interested in technology, in incubating technology. They are now the world's best in technology incubating hubs. They invite everybody from across the world to help them to tool their industry. We did not tool our industry in Nigeria. We just found oil and we took a lot of missteps, and that is the problem. So we are not going to, nothing is going to work. This issue of Dangote refinery and all this chasing around a refinery and what is, these are like the chickens coming home to roost for us because we did not do the right thing from the beginning. We had a couple of old technology refineries. They never worked. We never cared. We just ran the model, the Dutch disease model, which is just to grab crude oil, take it abroad, sell it, grab petrodollar, and when you have it, a lot of things start to go wrong in your country, but you think you have the money. That was how we called the whole world to a feast in 1977, because saying we have so much money, we don't know what to do with it, and we hosted a Festac, which is the only time in the whole world a country called for an arts and culture festival, a country that does not even discuss its history to be hosting so we've been wasting this money, and we've been doing a lot of misdeeds to ourselves. What we had, every country that has come out from the ashes of war usually takes the tools. Like you see Ukraine, the day Ukraine, this war ends in Ukraine now, you see a lot of the engineers that have been helping them with these drones they've been building. You see those engineers will be engaged to further go post-war reconstruction. Nigeria never had some, I don't know how they did it. And after the war, they were not able to harness the technology that we know that the rebel side developed. And these are technologies that, they refined oil, then they had vehicles, they had armory and things. And these are things no nation does. Every strategist, every military strategist, developmental strategist will tell you this. You have to treat those people right, calm them, and then get them to help you with technology. Now, when you don't do all these things, and then you have to ensure continuous developmental balance. So you also have to, when you find oil, you have to slow the world down from coming to you, because you have gold. Yeah, you have an item of value. So you have it. There's no point rushing. Just like you make a piping hot cup of tea or beverage, you don't gulp it. It's going to scorch you. You have a bowl of very hot plate of rice or any meal. You don't rush it. You start trying to eat it as it's cooling down. You get a spoon, you blow it cool, and you eat. That is the way oil is used. So you have your in-ground asset, which is oil, is in the soil. You don't throw your doors open and bring the world and start to sell it in advance and grab money. It's like you're a cowboy. You're trying to, like, this asset. So we've not been sincere about all these things. These assets are somewhere, and you want to see what you can do to extract it all. Because sometimes too, we are not properly treating ourselves like one nation. You see somebody from another region, and the resource, the oil is in another region, and the way they are governing and treating that oil, you see that they are like being reckless with it. So all these things have now come down to this point where we are begging one man, one breathing man, chasing him around, crying, "Oh, Dangote, Dangote," in the news all over the place. Fuel, give us fuel. Are you selling us fuel? Are you selling to NNPC and all this? So these are things that, and sorry, I'm going to get coconut. It does not matter how long you for Nigeria, because Nigeria must turn back from its wrong route and do the right things. Like a wrong maths you're solving, you put your wrong algebra, you solve to the point end, you have to come back and correct it.
Right.
So it's interesting for Nigeria. Sorry.
Right. I was going to ask you how you think all of those Arab nations run their oil, because I still, up until this moment, cannot understand the concept of subsidy. You own this oil, and then you are not able to refine this oil. First of all, you have 4 refineries, and those 4 refineries are not even working. And then you export these particular oil. And then you import them back. And then you pay monies to people who
Nigerian network has not been
oil. It doesn't add up to me. How is it possible that those who have oil, like those Arab nations that are doing pretty well and are doing better than what we're doing, what is the concept of subsidy, and how did we get to this point? Who introduced subsidy? Is it even a scam? Successive government will tell you it's a scam, and when they get in there, they call it something else. Under recovery, under pricing, all sorts of names. I'm just wondering, do you think that we have somewhat mismanaged ourselves, so much so that I don't even know what subsidy is as far as now is concerned? Can you explain to us if it's the same thing that happens in other countries that have oil?
Yeah, it's an audit and operation matter. Nigeria has refused to audit its country. That's what you call audit of human resource census. Nigeria has refused to count its citizens. That is where the problem started. So when you don't count your citizens, I don't know for whatever reason, I think there are some regional issues that they have today. They don't want to say altruistically, like factually, statistically, this is the number of people here, this is the number of, I don't know what is being hidden. But now, without accurate census, accurate head count in a country, you cannot be able to apportion properly. You cannot get the demographic, the stratified demographics of people who are children, who are adults, who are working class, who needs the fuel, how much fuel. So once you don't have census, the accurate census, then you start to pad everything, every statistics, Office of National Statistics, Office of Data, every data in the country will be manufactured because the census is manufactured. And that is where, when other countries like the Arabian countries you're talking of, get it right, we don't get it right because they will count themselves very properly and bring out the figures and use the figures to work. Now, on subsidy, subsidy is something that is used across the world, both for oil producing and non-oil producing nations, because of the importance of oil to production and human living. So in America, they produce oil back home. When the import goes too high, the portion of oil imported goes too high, then they have to subsidize more. And when they produce from locally, they remove the subsidy a little because it's now local product. They are, so in the Arab world, they subsidize, but the quality of living and the taxation and everything counterbalances. In Nigeria, you're supposed to also subsidize because it's a local product and that it's indexed against international pricing and international indexing tools for selling. But then the refining end, there's a way oil is blended that countries control. When you have refineries in your country, you control the nature of subsidies. If you remove petrol at 33% in a let's say a barrel of crude, then you have diesel. You have diesel, you have all the other derivatives thereof, and then they help you to cushion the effect of petroleum, which is the commonly used product, the PMS in the crude component of a barrel. So what Nigeria is doing is that it has to stop. It has to match a take a break, and then calibrate into a proper governance structure for the country. For the institutions are so weak. The institutions are so weak. You've been hearing NNPC saying several things. They say some things, then they want to say it the way it will sound well with the presidency. Then they want to say, so the institutions are so weak. Everything and everybody outside, the external players enjoy this. Once the institutions is weak in a country, everybody wants to come into their country to have their own pie of the cake, their own portion of the pie. So we have to do something about strengthening the institutions and making them transparent. That's the solution for an oil producing country. You see the Arabian countries, you see what they do. You see all the technology hubs in the world are now in the Arab world. Once you once you have a master's in some kind of science and technology, you apply for further studies in the Arab world. They take you on a lucrative deal. Everybody is going there. And when you go there, what do they work with? Tools. They work with the population of the country. Everybody knows the population of the country. Everybody knows the number of women, the number of everybody they have tribes. They come from different tribes, and everybody knows what we are hiding and what we are trying to manage and cover and protect and making opaque is what is destroying development in Nigeria. And These things, we are going to keep discussing these things for some years coming, because we are not doing anything to clean up to put things in place and see the figures. We need to see the papers. How many people are in the how many people are, how many industries are here and there? They can they actually, and then it's amazing. We just hello. Hello?
Doctor, can you hear us? Yes.
Yeah, are you still there?
Yes, we're still here. I have a question.
Yeah.
With the movement, a lot of people are saying, not a lot though, but some people are saying that with the Go Greener movement and, Tesla being out there, Elon Musk making his own car, and just recently, a few days ago, Innocent came out with his own electric cars. A lot of people are saying that in a few years, in a decade or so, oil might not actually be, the big thing anymore again for Nigeria. What other sector do you think that Nigeria can explore to help our economy?
The electric vehicles you're talking, that's a blend, transportation blend. Is to get the cobalt, the ingredient, it's all about the battery, and it's another drain on the nation. Why the Western world are very interested in electric vehicles presently is because the resources, there's no attention has not been, close attention has not been paid to the source of the batteries. Because they are being gotten from Africa, and it's still the same resource exploitation and all that. Is good. We have to also put that in the mix. It helps to reduce the pressure. Look at so much pressure that's on the petroleum sector now. We sourcing for petrol. There's queues everywhere. There's all and it just keeps going on. So but that is not the solution. And a country that there's Maslow's hierarchy of need. A country that is still struggling with basic developmental indicators cannot be talking about helping to save the world, and all that. You can't be talking about going green, because you can actually, in reality, go green. You can put on a suit and go for an international conference and shake hands and talk about green economy, but you don't have an economy at all.
No, I agree. But then my question is, Doctor.
It's a thriving economy that goes green, that tries to turn
Doctor.
itself green. You have to be blue first, and then
My question is, what other sector can Nigeria explore to help our economy?
Okay, that's we have to talk about agriculture. We have to talk. That's the thing, that we've gone so far the wrong way, and we have to reverse. You have when we were growing up, we used to hear of made in Aba, which means Aba was making something. Yeah, you have to encourage that. Every place that was like Abadan, Taiwan and things, they are all big players in manufacturing industries. We have to create manufacturing hubs. We have to manufacture, and then we have to farm. The thing is, the oil, the way our oil is being run is the problem. It goes to cause Dutch disease all over the place, in all the little sectors, pockets of sectors in the economy. You have to structure the country in a way that oil can stay with the people that owns it. Resource control. They have to control their resource and pay tax to the federal government. And once you do that, every other region sits up. The regions that does not have oil will look at their comparative advantage. You cannot function, you cannot develop, you cannot move forward if you don't play to your comparative advantages. Some states in Nigeria, plenty states in Nigeria, their comparative advantage is not oil. They have to find what it is. There are some with gold. There are some with uranium. There are things that are, and there are some places that are food baskets. They even pride with it. They say their logo, their mantra is a food basket of the nation, their mantra. And then they now sit down. It's an economic misnomer for you to be a food basket, and every month end you sit down and wait for federal allocation. Nobody does that. No federation in the world does what Nigeria does. Nigeria is a dysfunction. It's an aberration of caricature of a federation. No federation does that. America is a federation. We model ourselves after America when it comes to jets and all the good things, luxury things, and build the villas and mansions for the leaders. But when it comes to developing the way America, structuring the way America has set its structure, we now renege. We have to find a structure that works here. That is the structure. The structure, what you're asking, your question about the economic diversification cannot work if we do not retrieve the oil, let it flow back to its owners. That is why you have to have in England. Scotland has oil, and their oil is for them. And because of that, their health service, their education system, their university tuition, everything reflects the fact that they have oil. And then the rest that don't have oil have to find their own comparative advantage and play to it. London is the financial capital of the world. It does everything to hold on to that. Everybody is trying to hold on to what gives it comparative advantage. So you cannot have a situation where you pick oil from somewhere and splash it like paint all across the country. Every 30 days, you spread some monies into the pockets of. Then they basically, the governors of the states are basically cashiers. They wait to collect money and distribute. They are bosses.
Dr. Uche Okoro, many thanks. Thank you so much for your input. I mean, speaking about oil in Nigeria is more like a touching issue. We could go on and on throughout the hours, quite frankly. But I'm sure that in due course we'll invite you further to extend this discussion as it relates to
I think
oil
there are
and its
issues.
dependence in
There are
Nigeria.
further issues we can explore. We should explore on this, and to get to the.
Right. Thank you once again. We truly appreciate you. Dr. Uche Okoro from the United Kingdom, giving us an insight into the dependency of oil and where it all started from. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay. Thank you.
So
for
we're
having
done
me.
for this morning's show, and it's been one amazing week with you. And quite frankly, whenever it's Ember months, when I was younger, as September kicks in, you begin to feel and perceive the aroma of Christmas.
Yes.
But these days, it looks like it's the aroma of fuel.
True, yes.
And
You
diesel.
can't perceive anything called right now.
It's just blocking your nose. I don't know how you feel out there, but I just wish you all the best. Have a great weekend. My name is Charles Pius.
And my name is Joshua Ritoga.